Alright then, hello there boys and girls, you are joining me for the very first ever Tactical Gaming Cast. I am going to be your host for this game, Zemik StarCraft, Ryan, whatever you want to call me, it's all good. You're joining me here on Xelnaga Caverns, which is going to be a 1v1 versus PhotoSynth, the blue Protoss, down here in the bottom left hand corner, and RhinoMeister, the red Zerg spawning in the top right. Just a few quick words while these players get themselves going. I have had loads of replays from you all, which is great. Good to see you're all enthusiastic for us to get casting. It's going to keep me busy for a while, so any of you sent me replays, they will get cast and they will definitely get done. Yeah, bear with me as best you can. And you will definitely see them up here at some point. Whether I'll cast them or whether it'll be cast by one of our team, because there's a team of 4 of us. It's me, Sin, who's from, I'm not going to say where he's from. I know he's from Europe, but I'm not going to say where because, you know, don't want to insult the guy. And then Ender, who's from Northern America, and Rook, who's also from Northern America. So we have got 2 from the US and 2 from the EU who are going to be casting. Keep sending the, actually no, don't keep sending the replays because I've got loads. There are other casters who are waiting for stuff to do. By all means, send them some. So we've got scouts going out here now. These scouts are at about normal timing, about 9 after that first pylon. Gateway going up, getting his wall in, which is really, really important against Zerg, because the last thing you want as a Protoss player, believe me, I know, is Zerglings running up inside your base, getting all up in your business, killing your drones, killing your probes, and just generally being a pain. This pylon placement, it's a little bit exposed. I would prefer to put it a little bit further back and then have a gateway and a cybernetics core finishing your warring off, but hey, each to their own. So the second gateway is going down before the cybernetics, I believe. I'll tell you what I'll do, I will put up the production tab. There we go, we can see exactly what's going on now. Isn't that great? Spawning pool is going up on probably a 15 pool, I would have said, and this probe is just sort of chilling there. He's not even being harassed or told to get out of there, so he's going to see everything. So it looks like it was 14 hatch, 15 pool with a nice expansion there for RhinoMeister. So he's going to have a bit of a macro advantage early on. But with this balanced style of play, it looks like PhotoSynth is going very heavily for units. So we'll see whether the macro gets a chance to pay off. So the cybernetics is going down now after the second gateway has finished, so we are going to be able to see some zealots nice and early. And he's just on the 1 gas at the minute. We've got the Roach Warren coming up now for our Zerg player RhinoMeister. He's going to be moving out with these, taking out that probe there, stopping the Protoss player PhotoSynth from seeing anymore. Whereas this drone is still just all up inside there saying, hey, you know what, I know exactly what's going on. These zealots are going to move out across the map, so it does look like a bit of a zealot rush is going on. Are we seeing warp gate tech? We're not just yet. We are seeing 2 more zealots. A zealot and a stalker, apologies. Swinging by the Xelnaga tower to keep the vision nice and high there, make sure he's got some map control, because the last thing you want is a Zerg getting his creep everywhere and he just owns the map and you're sort of stuck in a little corner like, oh no, I don't want to die. I think I did it recently on unit test map. I just decided to make really big battles, so I think these 4 Zerglings will actually go down against these 3 zealots, no problem, which could spell trouble. Zealot's going to be coming in and out. They are going to see this expansion, probably going to try and take out some workers. There's a roach up, so he should back out ideally, try and take him off the creep. 2 Zerglings have died. We've got more roaches on the way, so he is going to back out rather wisely from that fight. This pylon placement, a little bit close to the edge, but it does just give you that little bit extra field of vision to make sure that your whole base is covered and protected. This is another really great thing about Xelnaga Caverns, is you can put a flyer here and he can see the middle of the map and he's completely safe, aside from other flyers obviously. PhotoSynth has just now put his expansion up, so he's realised that he is going to fall behind in macro if he doesn't get that expansion up to keep up with his macro hard Zerg player. Looking at the army tab, it is, well, pretty much even there. Income tab, Protoss is actually a little bit ahead in the drones count, which you wouldn't think. Sorry, the worker count, which you wouldn't think really because of the expansion timing. So we have gone 2 gates Stargate for the Protoss player with no warp gate tech. Or warp gate tech is finished, but he's not making these into warp gates, which is, there we go. So yeah, 2 gate Stargate, not the most common of tactics, but not the rarest either. Nothing going to be destroying these rocks because your army's got to have something to do. Hoping to take his next expansion probably quite soon. The Protoss player is going to come up inside, see if he can put some more pressure on, see if he can keep the Zerg on the back foot, stop him from really moving off here, but the creep is starting to spread. He's going to try and take this queen out. These roaches are going to move in. Bit of a force field there to try and narrow them into a bit of a funnel. Both players just testing the waters, getting used to each other's play. We've got an in-base hatchery going down here so that we can get some more units out to help defend and attack. Proxy pylon going down, help keep the reinforcements nice and close. Now that them warp gates are finished. What have we got coming out the Stargate, I wonder? A Phoenix. Ooh. So we'll probably be seeing some drone harass with that, picking up them drones and shooting them down. That is a big Zerg army, and that's coming relatively quickly. I mean, that's one of the joys of Zerg play, really, is that you can go from no units to a massive unit in 2 seconds flat, essentially. But regardless of that, the Protoss player is keeping up quite well. In fact, he's a little bit ahead. Well, not anymore, but he was a little bit ahead. Back onto the production tab. So we've got a Void Ray coming out now, and the weapons upgrade Mark 1, as well as 8 drones, so macroing hard there. The lair is going to be coming up as well, which means that he should be in a position where he'd be okay to defend against any air. This is the Phoenix now coming around, scouting around the map, seeing what he can see. Zerg player is going to take out these rocks so he can move into his next expansion relatively soon. This proxy pylon is just sort of chilling there, waiting for the next push. He seems to be warping units down here though, which is a bit odd. I mean, you'd think he'd just bring them up here. But regardless, I mean, it gets your units together. What difference does it make where they spawn? So we've now got a Phoenix and a Void Ray. This Phoenix can be great. I personally love using them against Zerg because you can snipe them overlords and supply block the Zerg player, set them back a little bit. Which is, well, let's be honest, it's quite brilliant really. Phoenix is going to be scouting around, seeing if he can see anything. There we go, the Overlord is going to go down here, no problem. And there's not really an answer to it right now. So, does that supply block our Zerg player? Not quite, unfortunately he's kept on top of his Overlords quite well. Lift that queen up, needs to lift that queen up, needs to lift that queen up, screw the Overlord, lift the queen up, otherwise you're going to lose them. No, I think he's going to focus on that Overlord. Void Ray does come in to try and take that queen down. Is there any Hydras? There is just 3 queens, so if these Phoenix step in now, this could be a lethal blow. There we go. Really, you could lift the other one up as well so he can't attack your air at all. But that is this queen. I think it's just going to outfight this off because this Void Ray's on set. This Void Ray's dead. He should have lifted both queens up so that there was no potential for them to attack back, and then use the Void Ray to do the damage. Would have been ideal there. And then you could have taken all 3 queens out and then begin to harass the mineral line. But regardless of that, he's going to be moving in with his infantry force now. Needs to be keeping them together a little bit better, I would say. Zealots should go and try and pick off them roaches if they can. Force field going down to stop the surround. Zerg player is going to fall back as more reinforcements are being warped in. And those Phoenix are just going to die horribly versus them Hydras. This looks like it will go in favour of the Zerg player. RhinoMeister is just going to walk away with that victory there in the field as these Stalkers try and retreat, and these roaches can chase them very easily over the creep, but really should leave them now that he's off it, and these Hydras are just so slow off creep. So we've now got 3 more gateways coming up. And is he sticking with this starport? He is. So nothing producing off the starport right now. The upgrades are on the way. Pretty good saturation here, but Zerg's army is just starting to run away now. Going to destroy them rocks so we can start towards his expansion. The Zerg army is actually quite an interesting competition. If we have a little look at the units tab, it's 63 over 41, so the Zerg player is really ahead in terms of macro, and that could do a lot of damage to PhotoSynth, because obviously you can't get the units out quite as quickly as this Zerg player can. We've got the next, we're double expanding, one to the high yield and one to the what position's that? It's going to be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, isn't it? 10 o'clock that's going to be. Yeah, one at the 10 o'clock expansion there for RhinoMeister, and then the high yield, which with the drone count of 70 really will send his macro through the roof. And I don't think the ProToss player will be able to catch up at this point. I mean, there's not too much difference right now, but once these two kick in, there really will be. ProToss player is going to be expanding now to try and keep up a little bit. We have got some Zerglings. Are they Speedlings? They are Speedlings indeed. Who are going to be looking around, probably going to try and come in on this little angle, which is lovely on Telnaga, I think. This little shrouded in mist. But he does see this, so he is going to come in and clean it up, make sure that it doesn't do any damage economically. Morphing into Banelings at just the wrong time, unfortunately, because these all are going to die before they can do anything significant, or anything at all, really. So, right now, the units tab again. Once again, that macro really is quite impressive, to be honest with you, and the army that he's got to support it is equally as impressive. Really, I think if the Zerg player was to move in now, he'd take the game. There's one cannon, but let's be honest, what's one cannon? Oh, we've got a Nidus Worm. Nidus Network coming in, going to be rolling them Banelings in to do a hell of a lot of damage. Get them probes out of there, get them probes out of there. I'm sorry, I'm lagging. So yeah, those probes are going to try and get away, and these Banelings are going to be rolling after them as quickly as they can. They really need to use these Stalkers to take them out. And a few probes go down, but not really that powerful. He needs to be getting on top of this Nidus Worm now and destroying it, which he is going to do right now. Benny is going to come in and try and do some damage, but let's face it, Stalkers are armoured, no problem there. It was a really great play there, trying to make something happen. Trying to sneak inside there and take him out of the economic race. This work account is, he's sort of catching up. He's sort of catching up a little bit, maybe, but let's be honest, no, he's not. It's what, 20? Oh, I've just lost a load of work. So 19 work difference there. So, and we've got